there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso.
Welcome to week 2 of Boston Marathon training. So welcome back to week 2. So this week's theme is basically covering last week's training, and obviously if you haven't seen the first week of Boston Marathon training, upper right hand corner for the first week's training logs. What I'm going to talk about today initially is the Boston Marathon course. Out of the 6 World Marathon majors, this is probably one of the most challenging, along with New York. In terms of a potential for personal best, there is a potential for personal best, but it's not your out and out flat route type of run like potentially like London, Berlin and Chicago or Tokyo. Boston, New York hold a lot of similarities in terms of the route is pretty much undulating, but they are very different in terms of the way you can run and the way you handle the actual course itself. So looking back from my experience, for those who are actually running Boston, if you are watching this vlog, if you are watching this channel, welcome back, thank you for coming along. If you're looking for some tips and insights, and this is the place to be for the preparation for the Boston Marathon. Going back to what I learned first and foremost about the course was the fact that I didn't feel as if I had done enough long run, medium workouts, and also long runs over sort of an undulating route. That is something that I'm definitely changing for this course preps, and I'd highly recommend you do the same if you are heading to Boston. So looking at the course profile, and you can see the first 15 or so miles is predominantly going downhill, and that is probably the period of time where you have to prepare yourself during your training weeks, during the weeks right now where you're preparing and building to run a lot of those routes on undulation, actually incorporating a lot of these into your long run. If you take the section from 16 to 23 where the Newton area is, those are where you can gain your strength. That's where you can gain a lot of your resilience from specific hill training. In terms of handling the hills, all you got to do is get yourself up and not be too beat up at the other side of it, because you do feel like the hills are never ending. They do feel incredibly long when they do hit you at the 18, 19, 20 mile mark. From there on is predominantly a downhill finish, but that is the last 10k of a marathon, when your body is already fatigued, overloaded and completely tired, and you've got to ask yourself how badly do you want to get to the end of the finish line. If I go to my Strava record, again, you look at that course profile, I've got an elevation of 869 feet. And again, you can see the profile of what it starts off. It starts off very quick. I pace it too quickly, I pace it too hard. biggest takeaway that I've got for you from this little insight is your long runs on undulating hilly routes. Incorporate long effort, tempo efforts, marathon pace efforts on hills and undulations, and see if you can maintain that pace or at least required effort, and also fast finish long runs over the hills. So incorporate the simulation of the Boston Marathon course. So let's get stuck into this week's training. I covered 2.5 or so sessions. Again, mobility on every day of the week, which is good, starts me off every time before a run. And on the Tuesday, I did a pyramid session. So it was 200, 400, 600, 800, 1K, and then back down the same way. Unfortunately for me, there was just too many distractions in the park, too many dogs which were chasing me, which means I had to pause a couple of times. But in general, the session was pretty strong itself. Good speed for the 200s, again holding it for the 400s, and also for the 600 and 800s, and then for the 1K, which was a 323K. The same sort of splits, slightly better on the other side. Moving into Wednesday, another easy hour along with yoga for runners. And yeah, if I go back to Tuesday, I did a gym session in the evening, which was good. So just jog there and back to the gym. So it kind of counts like a small mini warm up to the gym, and a sort of lightest sort of session at the gym, just to keep the body strong, and also trying to work those gym sessions on those hard days, really trying to make a really conscious effort to do it this time round, and sort of take it away from any sort of easy activity, because it just leaves you fatigued. Because if you look at my training week and how it's structured, you have hard, easy, easy, hard in this specific week. Whereas if I was to do a gym session on a normal Wednesday, it would be hard, easy, hard, hard, which again, that is going to basically lead me down a pathway to injury, which we don't want. So yeah, Wednesday, easy hour, and then a yoga for runners session, which was good, just one off YouTube. Again, Thursday, I ran another easy run, which was basically just to add a bit of stride, and I was just filming a little bit of content. So I moved the session on because I had a few things on. And then the tempo run, which I did, was basically a session of 1K, 5K, 1K, 3K, 1K, all with around a 2-minute recovery. And I felt pretty good. It was very, very cold. It was about -3 according to Strava, and again, the session itself was pretty good. So for the 1K, a 3:39 to start off with, then an 18:46 for the 5K, a 3:31 for the 1K, and then for the 3K, 11:20, and then for the final K was a 3:33. So again, I ran it around the nice route of the Elite London Marathon route, again, which I like a lot. Again, a solid session, 20K for the day, including warm up and cool down, and again, a solid tempo effort going into the Friday. And then I finished off with another gym session, a bigger session, incorporating RDLs, squats, single legs, lunges, core, plyometrics, box jumps, rolling, stretching, etc. So it's a bigger session that I like to have. So you've got a smaller session, then you've got a larger session for the day. And on Saturday, I ran again for another easy hour. And then, like I said at the start, it was 2.5 sessions a week. So my long run, again, this was the first long run where I felt pretty decent waking up. And I incorporated going to the wood section, which is basically an undulating route. I tried to get as much elevation as possible. So in this run, I got 838 feet of elevation, which is decent, which is a good amount. And I did a few sets of hill reps in the workout itself. So I added in a 30-40 split of hill reps. So running 3 times 30 seconds up the hill, then down, then 40 seconds up the hill, and then repeating that twice. So there's 12 in total, and then that was either side of a massive warm up and massive cool down. So a very short section. And I just tried to run as much hills as possible, just trying to generate an easy enough pace and feeling so it's nice and cruisy. I will then adapt into adding reps over these hills once we've got a little bit more foundation built and a bit more endurance. And like I said on the Strava tower, this was my longest run in over 3 months since the London Marathon, which I find absolutely astonishing. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not sure how and why. I would have done a lot more sooner, but I think I've taken a real break from long efforts, especially over the winter period where we are at the moment, and I'm gradually getting myself back into it. So although 16 miles in the grand scheme of things as a marathon runner doesn't sound like a lot, it is when you haven't done it for such a long time. And I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty tired on Sunday evening, so it was good that I was at home and rest and recover and ready to start the new week. That kind of captures the week in training. 63.5 miles, and again trying to maintain that mileage and then gradually build that up to a nice sweet spot of between 70 or 80 miles, and hopefully that results in a good prep towards Boston's. Week 2 of the vlog, week 4 of training. Hope that's not too confusing. Once again, if you are training for a spring race, whether it's flat or hilly, drop a comment down below if you need any tips, advice, or anything that you feel as if I might be able to help with. Definitely reach out and get in touch. Remember to give this video a like and to consider subscribing to the channel, because we've got plenty more content regarding the race and also other stuff coming up on the channel as well. I want to wish you a really good week, and I'll catch you in the next vlog. Peace out.